My next pick is not number 69. It is not even 38 because in this scenario, the Patriots, the trade, they have packaged number 38 and number 69 and that fifth rounder I didn't use about 15 minutes ago at number 171 from Dallas. That equates to 237 points on Rich Hill's modern trade value chart, which tells you exactly how teams see these picks based on how they trade them and how they use them on draft day. You know what else is worth 237 points on the dot, Mike Giardi?
Yes. Pick 24 with the Minnesota Vikings.
Pick 24.
Who desperately need picks. They only had 4 picks coming into the draft.
Only have 4 picks in the draft. Right now you say, hey, we will give you 3 more picks to move back 14 spots. And in the meantime, right ahead of the Houston Texans, who need offensive line help, dangerously close to the way that the Patriots need offensive line help. You jump them for Josh Simmons, left tackle from Ohio State. 6'5", 317 pounds, 33-inch arms, even at the combine, 2 thumbs up, which get to be a half inch longer when you go home and just measure there. He started 13 games at left tackle for San Diego State in 2023. Transfers to Columbus, 6 starts there, gets hurt, on a trajectory that most considered top 10, top 15, top 20 pick. The injury obviously sets him back. It's a serious torn patellar injury. But even though he's not the greatest finisher and you want to see him play with a little bit more power, like this is a guy who's played right tackle and left tackle in college, has a prototypical physical skill set and all of the benchmarks, height, weight, and length, and he's scheme flexible. This is a guy who's played the position he needed to fill. Vrabel will have the intel at Ohio State when they talk about, is it Will Campbell, Armand Membu, and guys that aren't really considered top 5 picks overall in this draft. Okay, fine. Take somebody else and then go back and get the guy that you can plug and play at left tackle who will be able to physically hold up in the NFL, and you let him develop and ideally become a starter for the next 10 years.
So in my mock draft 2.0, which ran on Monday in Boston Sports Journal, another shameless plug, I traded the same 3 picks you did with Minnesota and traded up for the guy that I'm picking at 38, which is Josh Connerly. Now, again, we did this off the consensus board. And look, I've seen him in the mid-20s and I've seen him in the early 30s. If I had any fear here, if I had any concern that he's coming off the board, and when you start looking from 25 to 33, there are 4 teams that could go tackle. So it could happen quick. Last year it happened quick, and they ended up with Caden Wallace, who we don't know what Caden Wallace is because he was hurt a lot last year as well. They can't get caught in that same position. So if it takes the 3 picks, I'm willing to sacrifice Jackson Hawes. I'm willing to sacrifice, dare I say it, Jalen Noel.
Yes, good man. And
move up to get Josh Connerly out of the University of Oregon, who I've said this a bunch, and it happened at the Senior Bowl where he got absolutely murdered by Mike Green. Mike Green, he was expecting something else, and one-on-ones, Mike Green went right through his chest, knocked him on his back. All the players are there, so they're going crazy. And it's like, oh, boy, that's a moment for Mike Green. And that's also a moment that people are going to go, remember that time when he just got completely overwhelmed? Mike Green and Josh Connerly proceeded to match up 2 more times right after that. And both times Josh Connerly won the rep. And to me, that said a ton. Like, I'm not putting my tail between my legs. I'm not embarrassed. Like, look, I made a mistake. He's a good football player. He's probably going in the top 15. He got me. And then I turned around and I bounced back and I did it really well. I've talked to a lot of people about him because I've sort of zeroed in on the idea that maybe he's a little bit lighter than you would like, but his measurables are very reminiscent of one Tayler Lewan, who was not drafted by Mike Vrabel in Tennessee, but then was given an extension by Mike Vrabel in that team. And if you listen to Mike Vrabel talk about Tayler Lewan, it's one of his favorite players, like, period, end of story. There's a lot of love and respect there. He was a gamer. Now, I don't, what's Connerly's personality? I don't have the answer to that. They'll have a better answer from talking to him, but he's a competitive dude who I think is getting better. And I think there's a pretty high ceiling on this kid. And I like the idea of getting him. So whether it's 38 or like you did, moving up to 24, you took Simmons. I would just say the thing about Simmons is he definitely probably was, I would say he was most likely headed to top 6 or 7 pick in the draft. and be the left tackle. Like, he's the best left tackle in this class. The patellar tendon, if you start looking deeper into recovery and guys it's a hard one to come back from. And there are not too many left tackles that have ever gone through this. So we talk about Will Campbell and the projection with the arm length. This is a tough projection medically for a guy who has experienced something that not too many high-level left tackles have ever gone through.
The Patriots adding veteran Stephon Diggs brought much-needed credibility to their wide receiver room. But in a group full of slot types and possession receivers, New England still needs verticality and an outside presence to truly unlock Drake May's special arm talent. But today I'm breaking down 3 specific prospects who I think are the best fits to add some big play potential to the Patriots passing game. Jalen Noel is one of this receiver class's easiest projections. The 2-time captain improved every year at Iowa State, going from a second-team All-Big 12 selection in 2023 to earning Big 12 first-team and Special Teams Player of the Year honors last season. The 194-pounder put up a position-best 23 bench reps at the Combine, and he brought in over half of his contested targets last season. Take this deep grab against UCF. Iowa State comes out in a run look with 2 tight ends, both receivers tight to the formation on opposite sides, and the quarterback in pistol. But with the Cyclones facing a second and long situation, UCF keeps himself safe by playing single high press man. Noel chops his corner's 2-hand jam, dips the shoulder to keep himself clean, and takes a hard jab step to the corner before separating on a post. The deep safety does play this pretty horribly, but Noel tracks down the slightly underthrown ball to set up his offense deep in scoring territory. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to become members of Patriots Press Pass here on YouTube for more breakdowns just like this, as well as a ton of other great bonus content.